ERTC is a wonderful opportunity for us to come together with our customers, come together as an industry as a whole, to think about the challenges that the industry is facing, to think about what we need to do collectively to make this industry thrive, through the energy transition that we've got ahead. So why the car, you may be wondering? Well, the car is a great example of partnership. Shell's been working together with Ferrari for many years, and Formula One, as you probably know, is all about being competitive, all about pushing the boundaries and staying at the top of your game all of the time. You have to keep evolving. And for me, this partnership with Ferrari and Shell has worked so well for many years. We've been able to produce better fuels, edgy fuels, and incredibly performance associated with, say, the lubricants. Interesting, the lubricants for this car come from our GTL plant. Shell Catalysts and Technology is a key part at the heart of that. Now, what I think about this and this particular partnership approach, we as an industry need to embrace and do exactly the same, drive competitiveness. So the industry is facing some challenges, we know. We had a fairly challenging view about the outlook of the industry. We're looking at potentially transport fuels reducing in time, and Europe being particularly impacted by that. So we then started to talk as an industry about what do we do to respond to that. One of the areas that we talked about is how we increase the amount of petrochemicals. We see petrochemicals growing and continuing to grow. So how the refining industry becomes part of that value chain and increases its focus on that was one of the key threads. Second really important thread was around biofuels. We've got the RED II legislation emerging, very important for European refiners to replace a significant component of the fuel mix with biofuels. Biofuels produced initially from components such as vegetable oils. This is something that we're seeing already happening. But we're already expecting and anticipating our move towards second generation biofuels, and that's very, very exciting space. So a challenge, but an opportunity for this industry. Key takeaway from this event was really the need for the industry to decarbonize. We know that this is challenging. We can obviously replace the fuel mix and introduce things like biofuels, but we really believe that a key part of the future of this industry is going to be to embrace carbon capture. Carbon capture and storage, perhaps, as is being explored in a number of geographies, or carbon capture and alternative uses of CO2. This is a technology area that we know technologies already exist, but it's challenging economically. And this, unlike, say, the RED II directive, which is being really quite clear about what companies need to do, this space, we've not got that. So we're needing companies to come together to embrace this opportunity, to really go after this, along with governments, and set it up and get on this journey of exploring it. And I firmly believe that that's necessary. We need to start, we'll learn, we'll make it more competitive, we'll make it more economic, but we need to go after this collectively as an industry. Well, I'd be really surprised if the topics are not very similar to the topics that we've talked about this year. And interestingly, if we look over the last few years, the same topics have been very much the part of this, but the level and the intensity of those has perhaps increased. So we've seen more and more emphasis this time on the whole decarbonisation of our industry. That's going to continue. So next year, perhaps, let's continue that journey, but let's think about maybe talking not so much about the challenges, but maybe talk about how we collectively as an industry are going to get there. What's our roadmap? What are some of the examples and the reasons to believe that we're already on the right path? Let's go after it together.